Hello YouTube, this is the Stabby Brit, and this is my review of the Dwarf team. This is Snorri's Rangers, which I made for offline play, and I'll have a quick look at my online team as well, which is considerably further progressed. So, let's do a quick team overview first. Dwarf teams are tricky to play, in my opinion. They have a lot of good players. However, the problem is all of their players have limitations and setbacks, which can really ruin your day if the other guy successfully exploits them. So, while the Dwarf team is very powerful if used right, once you kind of get pulled out of position, it can be very difficult to regain control. And Rocket League is updated. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about the Longbeards. These are your linemen, and they're probably the best linemen in the game, if I'm honest. Only movement 4, and only agility 2, but armor value 9, and they get block, tackle, and thick skull. So these guys will take out anyone. Tackle is really useful against more agile players, you know, the Skaven gutter runners or skinks or anyone who's likely to be using dodge to try and get through your tackle zones. Linemen can take strength skills when they level up, which is terrifying. You'll see why later. Next we'll do the runner. There's nothing really special about these. They're basically just a human lineman with sure hands and thick skull. So they can pick up the ball easier. I should mention as well, thick skull is basically, unless they changed it from the last time I played, thick skull was that you treated an injury roll of 8 as stunned rather than knocked out. So they've got a... actually, why am I even asking? Let's just look. Sure hands, thick skull, there we go. Oh, true, any roll of 8. Yep, there you go, so it is. After modifiers. Good to know. Okay, so that's thick skull. Runners, not really much good off the starting block. You can improve them a bit. On my online team, I've got one set up as a passer and one set up as a catcher, just to give me a few more options, and they've both got block so that they're not the weak link in the chain when it comes to the rest of the team. Blitzers. Good agility and decent movement for a dwarf mean that these guys can act as emergency ball carriers. These are usually the guys who I'll try and get the ball to. If for whatever reason I can't get a runner in place, and especially if I don't think I can avoid a block. Because, as I've said, you need to get block on a runner before he can hopefully take some hits. Blitzers are a really good alternative for moving the ball around. Now, Troll Slayers. Oh, these guys are double-edged swords. There is a reason why the only people on my online team that have been injured are Troll Slayers. They've got armor value 8, so they're not your strongest dwarf, not your toughest dwarf. The movement 5, which is good. They've got block. They've got dauntless, which makes them... I'm sure I've covered this already, but dauntless gives you a chance to match your opponent's strength. And it's based on the difference between your strengths. So it's like an 83% chance of matching someone 1 strength higher, 66% chance matching 2 strength higher, and so on and so forth. This makes Troll Slayers really good because they can basically charge against a strength 4 enemy with 1 support. It's a 1 dice block, and there's really good chance it'll go up to a 2 dice block, which means you're probably going to knock him over. However, they have the dreaded skill Frenzy. Now, Frenzy can be brilliant if used right, or it can ruin your day. Frenzy means that you must follow up after a block, and if your first block doesn't knock the guy down, you must throw a second block. Now, if you do this as part of a blitz action, you must still throw the second block. What can happen is that if, for example, you move 4 squares with your Troll Slayer and use your 5th to blitz, if you don't knock the guy down, but you push him back, you must perform a go for it to throw the second block. This has screwed me over once or twice. I usually use frenzy players to shove people into the crowd, but try to do that as a blitz, otherwise you're going to be stuck on the edge of the crowd and you're just going to get smacked straight into the crowd yourself. Finally, the Death Roller. I think every Dwarf team should have a Death Roller, but definitely don't go for it straight off the bat. The Death Roller is amazingly powerful. I mean, just look at its stats. It's strength 7. It gets a 3-dice block against standard players. It's armor value 10, so it's very rarely going to get hurt. Its other abilities are Mighty Blow, more likely to inflict injuries. Break Tackle, it essentially means you can use its strength as agility. No hands, so it can't handle the ball. Basically, this thing has got a lot of really powerful abilities, but the one that will ruin your day is Secret Weapon. What this means is the Death Roller is illegal, and the moment the drive ends, it will be sent off. Now, you can use bribes to keep it on the pitch, but early on, let's see, yeah, early on, you are not going to be able to have the resources to keep it on the pitch. So don't touch it early on. Get it further down the line. Make it the 12th player in your team. So, as you can see here, I've gone with 2 blitzers, 2 runners, 2 troll slayers, and 5 longbeards. And then I could have gone with 3 rerolls, but I went with 2 rerolls, and I decided to get a cheerleader, a coach, and buckets of fan factor. I mainly did that because because it gives me some benefits on the kickoff table, and it may well have changed in Blood Bowl 2, but I'm pretty sure that fan factor used to have an impact on how much money you earn. So I figured, well, better safe than sorry. And I've certainly been earning a decent amount of money with my Dwarf team, so yep. Plus there's a trophy for getting a team with 10 or more fan factor. So, you know, every little helps there. I'm sure you can do just fine without buying lots of fan factor, but I do know that I seem to be winning a lot of kickoff events to get me extra rerolls, and every little helps. So that was my setup. Don't feel you have to copy that. I don't think an apothecary is essential for a Dwarf team because you just don't take the injuries that often. Certainly not early on. Might change if you're playing against a really broken chaos team. But yeah, 2 rerolls or 3 rerolls would be 2 rerolls and change, or 3 rerolls would be my suggestion there. Okay, so I think I've gone through Snorri's ranges enough. Let's talk about my other Dwarf team. Okay, this is Gotrek's Gold Diggers, and this team is much further along. As you can see, I've got a lot of level 3 players, a couple of level 4s. Okay. I've been investing in rerolls. I've got 11 fan factor, so got that trophy. And let's talk about the money pit. So, upon reaching level 2, your stadium can buy an upgrade, and I have purchased the referee rest area. This gives both teams a free bribe. Now, why would I do this? Well, for the Death Roller, of course. Now, my Death Roller is level 2, and I've added Guard, which is well worth having. Really want a double so I can give him block, but hasn't happened yet. But let's talk characters. Now, where is he? Here we are. As you can see, my Troll Slayers all have broken legs. But stand firm would be my recommendation for Troll Slayers. Simply remove the ability for him to be pushed back, and he becomes a really great tool for shoving people into the crowd. Still need to do that on the other guy. I went with a slightly different build with him. Not sure why. But we can look at the Longbeards, and yeah, let's go with level 3 Longbeard. As you can see, Guard. First, they can take strength skills, so straight off the bat, Guard. You can potentially give pretty much everyone in your team Guard. Combined with their natural block, that makes Dwarf teams really difficult to move. And Mighty Blow, just to try and max out the damage. Alternatively, another setup I considered, and to be honest, I think I'm going to go for from here on out, is Stand Firm, just so that your Longbeards can't be pushed around. Mighty Blow, I think, is going to stick on the Troll Slayers and probably on the Blitzers. They've both already got Mighty Blow, I think. Yeah, I gave this guy Leader just to get me another reroll. Good idea early on, I think. Not so much now. But yeah, Mighty Blow, block, tackle. This should be pretty clear why Dwarfs can quickly become a nightmare to play against. With so many players have Guard, so many players have block, so many players have tackle. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players with Guard. So, yeah. If my team wants you down, you're going down. And that's basically all there is to say about the Dwarf team. They are a really good hitty team. Really like them for that. I suppose the real team to compare them against is Chaos, and I've not actually made a Chaos team, but I've played against plenty. I might put together a Chaos team just to talk about the roster. But Dwarfs so far are my favourite team to play online. I have played a lot with Gotrek's Gold Diggers. I should really talk about Bretonnians, since they were my first team and they're new to the game. But I kind of want to do Chaos next. So that's all from me today. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.